Good morning to all. Today we shall discuss about the fundamentals of communication system. The outline of today's presentation is introduction, types of communication, fundamental elements of communication system, modulation, classification, need for modulation, and finally the reference. So first of all, introduction. So the living things they need to communicate. So they need to communicate because they need to share their own ideas and views. So we can say communication is a process of transferring information from one place to another. So the information it may be of different types. It may be a video signal, audio signal, a voice signal, it may be a text, whatever it is. So the thing is that particular information should be carried for long distance without any loss as well as distortion. So when we are establishing a communication system, it is a must for a medium. So the information will be carried through a medium to the destination. So here there are two types of medium. They are wired as well as wireless medium. So when this information is carried out through the medium, it is not suitable for transmission or it is not fit for that medium. So we need to modify that information so that we can make that information should be fit for all the medium. So the process of converting information into a form that is suitable for transmission through the medium is known as modulation. So in communication system, the modulation is very essential. So we can classify the communication systems as based on the input signal. We can divide the communication systems into two. They are analog communication and digital communication. So first one is analog communication, in which the input signal will be an analog signal. That means the input signal will be continuous in nature. So examples for this analog communication are the analog signals are audio signal, video signal. Another one is the digital communication. So digital communication means here the input signal will be the digitized form. That is the information is the digital signal. That may be a computerized data. So here the input will be in discrete form. Next type of communication is based on the channel. We can divide it into two, that is wired communication and wireless communication. So in case of wired communication, there will be a physical connection between the transmitter and receiver. So both the transmitter and receiver are connected through wires. So different types of wires are used, that is copper cable, coaxial cable or optical fiber cables can be used. So next is the wireless communication. So in case of wireless communication, there will not be any physical connection between the transmitter and receiver. So here in both the transmitting end as well as receiving end, we will use an antenna. So the antenna will receives the electrical signal from the transmitting end and it will convert this electrical signal into electromagnetic waves, and that electromagnetic waves are radiated in free space. So at the receiving end, there will be another antenna. So the receiving antenna will receive the electromagnetic waves from the free space and it will convert these electromagnetic waves into electrical signal, and then the signal is further processed from which the original information can be recovered. So example for this wireless communication we can say as the cellular communication, that is the mobile communication, satellite communication. So these all falls under this wireless communication. So this is the basic block diagram of the communication system, especially for analog communication. So a communication system, the basic components are the source, channel and receiver. So these are the basic fundamental components of the communication system. Source, which generates the information. So in case of it may be a voice or audio signal. So this generated signal will be transmitted through the channel. So the channel, it may be a wired channel or wireless channel. Next, the receiver. So the information that are transmitted through the channel will be received by the receiver and then they are processed. So for processing, in the transmitting end we are using the transmitter and the receiving end we are using a receiver. So the transmitter, which consists of a source as well as the some electronic components. So that components are, it may be source encoder, channel encoder as well as modulator. So these components will occupy in the transmitting end. And the receiving end, it consists of demodulator, decoder, channel estimator, and then it is given to the final destination. So in the transmitting end, modulation process is done, and the receiving end, the demodulation process is done. So first, the signal generated from the source. So it is an analog signal. For example, let it be an analog signal. That signal is given to the modulator in the transmitting end. So the modulator will convert the information that will be suitable to transmitted through the channel, and then the signal is propagated through the channel. And the receiving end, the signal will be received. So while during the transmission path, there may be chances for addition of noise as well as interference. So when the receiver received the signal, it consists of the original information transmitted by the transmitter along with the noise. So the receiver, it consists of number of filters like low pass filter, band pass filter. By using that, the noise components will be eliminated. And then it has the channel estimator as well as demodulator. So the received signal will be demodulated and from which original informations are recovered. So these are the basic functions of a communication system. So whatever things we are doing in the transmitting side, the same for which we are doing the inverse operation in the receiving side. If we are doing modulation in the transmitting side, we are doing demodulation in the receiving end. As well as if we are doing encoding process in the transmitting end, then we are doing decoding process in the receiving end. So next is the modulation. So we can say modulation is a process of changing any one characteristics of the carrier signal with respect to the information. So here just let us consider a signal which consists of three components. They are the amplitude, frequency and phase. Also a modulator, it consists of two input and it produces one output. So here the modulator, one input is the message signal, that is our original information. Another one is the carrier signal. So the carrier signal will be a high frequency signal and our original information, that will be a low frequency signal. These two signals are given as input of a modulator. Now these two signals are modulated and produces the output as the modulated waveform. It has the frequency of intermediate frequency, that is in between the message signal and the carrier signal. So here based on the input signal, we can divide the modulation schemes into two, that is analog modulation and digital modulation. That is, if the input signal is continuous in nature, the type of modulation is known as analog modulation. And if the input signal is digital signal, that is in discrete form, then that type of modulation is known as digital modulation. So this is the classification of modulation. So first the modulation is divided into two types, that is continuous wave modulation, another one is the pulse modulation. So here the carrier waveform will be continuous in nature in case of continuous modulation, and in pulse modulation the carrier signal will be in pulsated form. So in continuous modulation, if the input is continuous signal as well as the carrier is a continuous signal, then there are two types of modulations are possible, that is amplitude modulation and angle modulation. That angle modulation is further divided into two things, that is the frequency modulation and phase modulation. So in case of amplitude modulation, we are giving the input as a continuous signal as well as carrier also a high frequency continuous signal, and then the output also a continuous signal. So here what will happen means the amplitude of the carrier signal is varied in accordance with the message signal. Then that type of modulation is known as amplitude modulation. Similarly, in frequency modulation, the frequency of the carrier signal is varied in accordance with the message signal. So in this case, the amplitude and phase which remains constant. So next type of modulation is phase modulation. So here also the phase of the carrier signal is varied in accordance with the message signal, and here amplitude and frequency remains constant. So whatever the type of modulation, the changes will be done only in the carrier signal and with respect to the message signal, and there will not be any changes in the message signal. So modulation is a process in which the amplitude or frequency or phase, any one of these parameters will be varied in accordance with the message signal, and the message remains unchanged. So the message signal won't be get modified. The information in the message will be safe, and according to the message signal the parameters of the carrier is get varied. So these things are done in the pulse modulation also. So here pulse modulation, it also of two types, that is analog modulation and digital modulation. So here analog modulation, here the input will be analog signal, a continuous time signal, and the carrier will be a pulse signal. So it is of three types, that is pulse amplitude modulation, pulse width modulation, and PPM, pulse position modulation. If the input is in digital form and the carrier is a pulsated signal, then there are two types of modulation. They are pulse code modulation as well as delta modulation. Likewise, in continuous modulation also, if the input is a digital signal and the carrier will be a analog signal, that is a continuous time signal, then the output will be the digital signal, that is represented as amplitude shift keying, frequency shift keying, and phase shift keying. So these are the various modulation schemes used for communication system. So the main thing is the need for modulation. So whatever the types of modulation, whatever the communication system, the modulation is an essential thing. That is, we cannot without modulation we cannot transmit the signal for long distance. So for long distance propagation we need modulation. Also, there is a relation between height of the antenna as well as frequency. As the frequency is get increased, the antenna height is get reduced. So our original information will be always a low frequency signal. So this low frequency signal cannot be propagated for long distance. So if we need to propagate a low frequency signal, we need to increase the height of the antenna. If we are doing so, that is we are increasing the height of the antenna, the construction cost as well as design complexity is get increased. So to avoid that we can go for modulation. In that modulation process, the signal is mixed with the carrier signal so that the low frequency signal will be converted into a high frequency signal. So our modulated signal will be a high frequency signal. In this case, the high frequency, the transmitted signal will be in highest frequency. So for transmitting a high frequency signal, we can reduce the height of the antenna. So when the height of the antenna is get reduced, the construction cost as well as design complexity is get reduced. So this is one of the main thing for modulation. Also, for long distance propagation, the high frequency signal will propagate without errors, so the modulation is an essential thing. Next is the multiplexing concept. By using the modulation concepts, we can do multiplexing. That is, more number of signals can be mixed in the transmitting end, and that can be successfully demultiplexed at the receiving end. So without modulation, we cannot multiplex the signals. So for multiplexing, we will mix the message signal with different carriers, and all that signals will be added up. So for doing this process, modulation is an essential thing. Also, we can, when the transmission path when the signal is propagated through the transmission path, there will be chances for addition of noise as well as interferences. So this effects will be severe in case of fading channels. So at the receiving end, we need to eliminate this noise as well as interference. So for highest frequency components, the noise and interference levels can be easily eliminated. So for which we need to include some electronic circuits so that can be performed very well in the presence of modulators. So these are the fundamental things of a communication system. So for efficient operation of a communication, modulation process is very essential, and the types of modulation can be elaborated in the next videos. So these are the references.